You think you check the check, you working every day, check the check. We check the check.
Yo, what up, YouTube? It's your brother YT. Wake 'em up, back at it again with another video. If you didn't see my first video on this topic, celebrities are going broke, then you can click the link in the description. It will be in the comments below as well. But look, let's get into this video right here. This is from a podcast with Fat Joe and Jadakiss, talking about living paycheck to paycheck. See, y'all favorite rappers don't got it like y'all think. And it's been exposed. I was a part of that, as well as the rappers are saying it themselves now. And shout out to Anton Daniels. I'm going to be reacting to his video on it. He going to share his take. I'm going to share my take. Let's get into it. Most rappers are broke. Fat Joe and Jadakiss talk living paycheck to paycheck despite making millions.
If you think the record label's coming to bail you out, you know, I know they support you at the beginning or whatever. You got Lil Durk right now. Lil Durk is facing life, right? If you think he's thinking, I don't know, man, God bless him if he's thinking the record label.
I don't know about none of that shit. But fast forward the times from Pac to Durk. Durk he's making mad off. He got mad. He's trying to put up mad M's, buildings, all. They're denying his bill thus far. But Pac didn't have that to put up. So,
man, listen.
Is it like a,
it goes
how you
back.
feel about that with the times? Because as big as Pac was,
look,
he should have had, you don't think he should have been able to get out without shit?
It's back. It goes, now he ain't have it.
No, but you just said he was everywhere on the news.
He was. But he didn't have that bag. He didn't have that bag or he would have bailed himself out. He didn't have the money to bail himself out. Sometimes we living day by day. We just living by different.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why is it fucked up situation? Because Durk got the money and he can't get out.
You think you check the check? You working every day, check the check. We check the check. If we buying $300,000 watches, homes, and everywhere, we check the check.
That's why you got to keep working.
That's why you got to keep working.
Everybody.
That's just stupid to me, though. That's living beyond your means. I don't care if you're making millions. It's not about what you make. It's about what you keep.
Everybody is so rich, then why they fucking still working? You gotta fucking work. Yeah.
When I see Smokey Robinson and all the motherfuckers still at Vegas and Lionel Richie.
Going. I just seen Rod Stewart about to do something. He 180.
All right, so what does that mean? Does that mean that they love to do it, or does it mean like you gotta pay the bill?
Yeah, you got bills.
You got kids in college. You got all type of
shit going on. Yeah,
mortgages. You got car notes. You got shit like, I mean, guys 80 years old still performing, touring. I mean, just 2 days ago was Patti LaBelle.
Yeah, my mom went there.
I would have went.
Yeah, my mom in the win.
I was in Vegas stuck. I had a show. Patti LaBelle, my girl Stephanie Mills,
Gladys Knight, Shaka Khan.
Yo, the reality is that most of these people, and I've been saying it, and a lot of people keep on going on to these stupid sites, these celebrity net worths, and they're wrong. And living check to check as a performer or as a person that has made millions of dollars is insane to me.
That's what I'm saying. And Lil Wayne even said it himself. When you pull up those net worths, oh, let me look up their net worth. That's not accurate. He said, he was like, I wish I had that amount of money. He said, I don't got that. But the fact that he talking about car notes, you mean to tell me you making millions and you got a car note, you didn't buy it cash? I know you want to build your credit, but I'm saying you struggling, you saying y'all struggling, y'all paycheck to paycheck. And you can go out and make, as a top rapper, you can get 100,000 a show, 500,000 a show, but they don't got nothing to show for it. They getting the money, but they don't got nothing to show for it. They blowing it because they got to keep up an image. They got to keep the fans thinking that they got more than they got. They got to keep making it seem like they're better than you because they got more money than you. See, a lot of times these rappers, they sign deals. The label buys that house. They will buy that car, and then they owe the label back. It comes out of their advance. Now, the label gonna get their money back tenfold when they drop an album.
Never take out a loan again. Well, let me not say never, because it's a lot of business reasons why you could take out a loan. Tax purposes, you ain't got to pay back loans on taxes or whatever. But, you know, everything that I do is paid for. Cars paid for, houses that I'm building, real estate, investments paid for. Just because rappers make a lot of money, or performers or entertainers or whatever make a lot of money, don't mean that they got a lot of money. Right. Most of them are broke. And when I say broke, I mean broken. You know what I'm saying? They check to check, they got problems. The biggest problem that I see from people that really got money, that got a decent net worth, is they always fight with the tax man. That's not a bad fight to have, because that means that you're generating a lot of revenue, that you got a lot of investments. Most of the time you got a lot of things that you're trying to write off, and they may want to fight that and all of that. So that's not a bad position to be in, because that means that you're financially literate in most instances. Now, people that just got problems for the sake of having problems because they, as signs of neglect, that's a whole nother conversation. But bringing it back to what Joe was saying, these guys, look, 95, 96, 97% of these rappers are broke. I will tell you right now, I don't want to say that much. We'll talk about that part on After Hours. But when I say it a lot of time, I say your favorite rapper is broke. Man, they jewelry be rented. Half of that junk be fake.
Right.
I'm okay with like people having car notes or whatever like that, because that just means that you got the majority of your money tied up in investments. And then more important,
I don't think the rappers got it tied up in investments, though. They're not making investments. Unless you want to count designer, buying bodies for women. They buying BBLs. Most rappers are not financially literate. Most of them are illiterate. They don't even read the contracts. They don't read the terms. They got bad deals. They get 10 to 12% of their royalties, and then they wonder where all of their money going. And Jay-Z said it too. He said this back in like the 90s. He said most rappers are broke. About 95% of rappers are broke. If you look at it, they got to use their influence to get sponsorships and to do things outside of music, because music doesn't pay that much. Streaming really killed the record business. There's no tangible asset no more. You see they trying to get into vinyl. They trying to do vinyl now. Vinyl is about to be big again. The game needs that for real. They need something that they could actually sell physically to make a profit, like when CDs and tapes were in. Even the labels are taking losses. They got to cut their artists. They got to get rid of artists because they're not profiting.
it's write-offs that you can have, certain vehicles that you can buy. If you get it as a lease, you're going to be paying the same amount regardless. So why spend all of the money up front when you can basically parse it out, and then you're going to still have the same write-offs if it's in your business name. So it's a lot of mindset that come behind that, but most of these guys is financially illiterate. They get money, spend money, get money, spend money, get money, spend money, and they have to work. It's a difference between a person that is working because they find a sense of purpose in it, they love it, and they just like it making more money. There's nothing wrong with working relentlessly, because Warren Buffett just stepped down from Berkshire Hathaway and he over 90 years old. I see Dan Gilbert, the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers and Rocket. He is working all of that. Like, it's nothing wrong with working. Working gives you purpose. I retired at 37 years old 6 years ago, and then I went back to work because I was bored as hell. It just is what it is. And it was a free bag, so why not? But I'm telling you, most of these guys are financially illiterate. They have no clue, and just because you generate a lot, and that's why I be telling people all the time, stop pocket watching. Stop thinking that just because these guys are famous that translates into resources. I don't care how much money you make. You can always outspend it. You can always fumble it. You can always mess it up. And they are telling you the truth. And I know so many guys. I'm telling you, I know some athletes. I know a bunch of athletes. And I know a bunch of entertainers that get coaching calls, and it be towards the tail end of their career a lot of times. A couple of them have hit me up earlier, but it be at the tail end of their career a lot of times, and then they want to start trying to put things together and get things together. You got to live the rest of your life. The rest of your life. Now they're starting to put things in place like 401ks and pensions and certain plans to where they can't touch it till they 50 or 60 or whatever like that. But telling you, man, they got to be protected against themselves. They tap.
And think about how many rappers that fell off. They probably was a one-hit wonder, or they had their time, right? Every rapper gonna fall off eventually. Some of them had their run. They lasted for 3 to 10 years, and now we don't really hear from them no more. They back in the hood, some of them. Some of them trying to trap. Fetty Wap, for example. They trying to figure out ways, right? You see them doing crypto scams. You see them trying to sell any product they can get their hands on. Like, a lot of them try to get into the e-commerce business, and they don't know nothing about e-commerce. They start clothing brands. Those aren't really successful, right? They don't really profit too well off of those. There are very few, like Kanye West. He did good. But a lot of times they just put a product out there to try to make money because they know that they have influence. Now you see them trying to make restaurants. and they're selling bad products, doing bad business. There's nothing wrong with jumping into entrepreneurship, but you got to know what you're doing, and you got to actually have a love for it, study the game, know the art of it, and really have your heart in it. Not just be in it for the money, because you'll still fail with that too. Your niche is not none of that. It's music, and the music is not generating coins right now. Labels are pretty much about to be done. It's better to be independent than be a signed artist, to be real with you.
That's a must-see TV. But either they doing it for the love and the passion, or they still got to get the money to pay these bills. Because these bills just keep
They don't
coming.
stop. The bills don't stop.
The bills keep coming. I don't care.
The bills is coming now.
The bills is coming now. The train is coming. And so what happens is, I don't care how much money we make. It's almost like shampoo. The shit just slipped through your fingers. I'm not safe. No, I'm keeping it real with you. I am not safe with no amount of money. You don't know how many times I made $1 million and that shit was gone in like a month or two. And it's just regular shit. Yo, pay the lawyer, pay your insurance, pay this.
Repeat process.
Just this, that. And then you turn around and it's like, yo, where's the bread? Yo, bro. You know, Louis Vuitton ain't cheap, bro. All that shit you doing out here looking cute, it ain't cheap. And so there's always a check to check. I don't care how much money you make. It blows my mind. When I'm sitting down, I'm like, yo, I just made $1 million last month. How the fuck you telling me the Amex bill, that this done washed up 2/4 of the shit, like real quick. Like, and you thinking you in the fucking, when I was in the projects, I thought I could buy a fucking cloud with $1 million. A cloud. Like, I'd be like, yo, I could buy me a cloud. $1 million? You looking at the fucking cartoon, they going $1 million?
Yeah.
They was acting like you could buy the whole Bronx of that shit.
Check this out, though. Fast forward, how we started from cassettes, now it's all the way to iCloud, and all your music lives in the sky. How the fuck is it, with all of this streaming and all that, is it more money? It's definitely more money, because they just, but how?
Because they made it so that
these guys don't even understand their own business. They honestly, this is why, and I'm glad that they having these conversations. So it's not that I'm not appreciative of what's going on, but them as artists, which is one of the reasons why back in the day, the Locks was in the situation that they was in with their contract, because I'm sure that they just signed it and they don't even understand it. But they don't even understand the logistics and the logic behind how it is that they make money in the business that they in.
And it's not just the Locks. We could talk about TLC. We could talk about R. Kelly. We could talk about DMX. We could talk about pretty much any R&B artist you can name from the 90s or 80s. None of them understood their contract. They didn't understand the business. Most musicians don't understand the business, and the labels know that. And when you do, they don't want to sign you. You're a threat to them. Chameleonaire understood the business. He got in the game, blew up, made his money, got into tech. And now people question, oh, how is he sitting courtside? He's smart. Master P, he's smart. He finessed the labels and got out of the record business. And he went into the product business. He got Rap Snacks, noodles, pancakes. He got shoes. He got everything. He says product outweighs talent. He says there's no money in the record business no more. And he was the first person to bring the light that you can make money off of the record business. You see what I'm saying? One of the first ones. The artists are taught just to be talent. Let your managers, let the label handle the business. Let your team handle it. You just go out and create the music. But it's the record business. You have to understand how to make records and the business side of it. If not, you're done.
Always been taught to mind your business, meaning that you need to understand the business that you're in before you start to try to monetize it. That way you make the most from it and you generate the most revenue. Most independent artists and most people that are able to do things independently and is successful at it will make way more money. And it has nothing to do with the fact that, you know, they generate just a lot more revenue. It's that they understand the business.
Right.
I'm going to continue this conversation tomorrow night on After Hours. Make sure you guys tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. Peace.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Shout out to my boy Alanza, Baby Savage. He became a millionaire as an independent artist, and you probably never heard of him, right? Now he's giving deals to some of these artists that fell off and bringing them back. He makes $500,000 per year off of shows independently just because he does like 300 shows per year, right? He breaks it down to the mathematics. He was the first person that showed me how to get 10,000 as an artist independently, right? It's about understanding the business. He got connections with every single platform, the ones that the labels try to gatekeep. Check out Celebrities Are Going Broke if you haven't checked that one out. Link is in the description once again and in the comment section. Peace. And to my Hebrew family, shalom. Drop a comment. Let me know what you thought about this one.